Here's what I packed for Mexico City and what I actually wore. Hi, I'm Josie. I've been packing carry-on only for over 25 years, and I'm here to show you how you can too. When I was packing for Mexico City, I had to deal with a couple of packing constraints. First was that I was going directly from work meetings onto the flight. And the second constraint was that I had to split my carry-on luggage with my husband. Because of all of this, I had to be really strategic, not only with the airport outfit, but with everything that I packed. Since I was coming from a day of work meetings directly onto the flight, that really affected my airport outfit. Fortunately, I was still able to wear my black transit trousers, a blouse, and a jacket, and it worked out that the shoes that I was taking, which were some brown suede ankle boots, also worked for my work attire. Normally, I would prefer to wear a sneaker during travel day. This was a case of that I really had to wear all my bulky items in transit. Since we were flying Volaris, we only wanted to pay for one carry-on. So we decided that we could pack well enough to split that. Now let's get to the capsule. My style words for this trip were soft urban, boho, and refined casual. And I leaned into a primarily brown and neutral and blue color palette. First step of planning and packing your travel capsule is to check the weather of your destination. So for Mexico City, when I went, the highs were going to be in the 70s and 80s and the lows in the 40s and 50s. And the second way you plan your travel capsule is to check your itinerary and choose clothing items that fit in with that itinerary. Our itinerary was very clear and straightforward. We were doing a walking tour, a taco tour, and for the remainder of the time, we were just going to walk and explore, but we also knew we wanted to dress up in the evenings. Because I've traveled to Mexico City before, I packed the same items that worked for me before, and that is dresses. For the warm 80-degree weather, dresses were really the way to go. Even though I normally pack a 4-3-2-2-1 capsule, in warm weather and summer weather, that formula changes. For this capsule, I packed 3 dresses, 3 tops, 2 bottoms, 2 outerwear, and 1 mid-layer. And as part of my packing process, I always try and photograph potential outfit combinations that would work with my itinerary before I leave. This is what gives you that carry-on confidence. You know that what you're packing is going to work for your trip and your planned activities. Here's what worked. The dresses worked beautifully. It actually ended up being way hotter than I thought it would be, so I did not even need a layer. Just the dresses on their own worked out. And then I did pack one dressier dress specifically for the evening, and that was also great. It was a little bit cooler that evening, and I was comfortable, and I felt like I looked appropriate for a Saturday night in Mexico City. The cooler weather in the evenings, jeans made absolute sense, and I paired it with a scoop neck top for one dinner and then a more casual graphic tee and jacket for another evening. Having my outfits pre-planned already made things a lot easier as well. I have to admit, I was a little scared about splitting the carry-on with my husband, but we both used compression sacks, was no problem, and he took one side and I took the other. And because of this, we had to use our personal items really strategically, and whatever overflow didn't go in the suitcase, we carried in our personal items. And I have to note that because I wore mostly dresses, anytime I wear a dress, I wear the Thigh Society anti-chafing shorts underneath, and those are great. Those are an absolute essential for me for summer travel. Here's what I didn't end up wearing. I didn't end up wearing the blue cashmere mid-layer that I brought because it just never got cold enough for me to use it. I definitely wore it on the plane because the plane did end up getting pretty cold. And the blouse I wore in transit, same thing. I didn't end up needing it during the trip, but I wore it on the way back. And the same for my transit trousers. I didn't end up wearing them during the trip. I had planned on wearing them for one evening's outfit, but I just ended up thinking that the jeans looked better for this trip. And I packed a denim jacket, and I never really wore that because it was so hot. I didn't even need that layer during the day. Even with those things I didn't wear, I wouldn't change much about this capsule. As the weather in Mexico City can be so variable, you have to have all these layering pieces in case you have a cooler day or cooler evenings. And here's my packing confessions. Here's what I forgot. And even though I'm supposed to be this expert traveler, I always forget something. I forgot to pack sleepwear. It ended up being fine. I made do with what I had, but it would have been nice to have proper sleepwear to sleep in. And my other packing confession is that I brought way too many hair tools. I brought my volumizing round brush hair dryer and a flat iron and a round brush hot tool. And yes, I used all of them. Overall, this capsule worked great for 4 nights and 3 days in Mexico City. I feel like I had everything that I needed, and I also felt very comfortable and very appropriate. I think a capsule like this would also work for you if you're traveling somewhere with warmer weather.